Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is an essay I've called Maximally Effective Altruism. Imagine that there are two people lost at sea, and there's food enough only for one. One of the two is the world's most promising cancer researcher, while the other has far less potential to improve humankind. Most people would wisely choose the cancer researcher. Yet the effective altruism movement focuses on lower potential people, typically people who are struggling in poor nations. That implies a belief that all lives have roughly equal value. Of course, our hearts go out to such people, but they face so many barriers. If we care to maximally benefit humankind, we're wiser to invest in people with great potential for ripple effect, who importantly would not otherwise get fully funded. For example, leading lights in the effective altruism movement are far from the most downtrodden. For example, William McCaskill, Holden Karnofsky, Peter Singer, and Zvi Mowshowitz. Effective altruism might fund such people to develop ever more ripply effective altruism. Some other possibilities for more ripply and thus more effective altruism? Super courses. Those are online versions of standard school courses taught by dream teams of transformational instructors, augmented by vivid demonstrations and gamification. Of course, instruction would be individualized, not just in pace, but in teaching approach. Machine learning would make that individualization even better, and automatic translation would make super courses available in many languages. The development of super courses would enable every child, rich and poor, kindergarten through college, Alabama through Zululand, to get world-class education. The private and government sectors haven't funded this. I have proposed it to top U.S. and California education officials and gotten nowhere. One reason is the fear that the powerful teachers' union would try to stop it so as to preserve teacher jobs. But if developed and disseminated worldwide, super courses could be very effective altruism indeed. Another example of more effective altruism, independent researchers who are studying solutions that are promising but have a low chance of success. Governmental and corporate funding sources tend to invest in institution-based researchers and people whose projects have higher probability of near-term success. But if the focus is on long-term risk-reward, what's going to make the biggest difference in the long run? Effective altruism might include independent, unaffiliated researchers, the so-called garage, people working in their garage, on things like lowering the cost of nuclear fusion energy, developing better AI-driven models for predicting and foiling terrorism, and even for assessing a war's worthiness. For example, the U.S. entering World War II versus the war in Vietnam or Afghanistan. Another example of what I believe is maximally effective, or at least certainly more effective altruism, people developing ever better mental health apps, for example, using ChatGPT. Such apps could be distributed worldwide to countries rich and poor. Cell phones are ubiquitous even in poor nations. Private sources are funding development of such apps, but such development deserves greater funding given the app's potentially great ripple effect. Another example of more effective altruism, researchers studying the enhancement of reasoning ability, impulse control, and altruism. For largely political reasons, those research areas are underfunded by government and corporations, but with sufficient ethical guardrails, such research has great ripple potential. And a final example of what I believe are more effective altruism is people developing software that matches mentors with protégés, again available worldwide. It would be like Match.com, but for mentor-protégé relationships. Many protégés and mentors say that mentorship has been among their life's greatest learning experiences. Such software would facilitate that. Alas, the matching industry, despite being around for decades, has remained focused on romantic relationships. That makes mentor matching apps a good candidate for effective altruism. Again, it is understandably tempting to want to help the least among us, those with the greatest deficits. After all, we feel good in helping them, and it's societally in kind of virtue signaling. But if we truly care about humankind and are willing to focus on the greatest ultimate benefit, I believe that ripple should be the core criterion for determining what is maximally effective altruism. In any event, that essay is called Maximally Effective Altruism. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.